Alpine has taken the covers off its new A390, the French-built electric fastback built for drivers. But is it enough to beat the Germans? Well, in this video, we're going to find out. After months of speculation and teasers, Alpine has finally taken the covers off of its new A390 coupe SUV. We first got a chance to see a near production version of the car at the Paris Motor Show in October last year, and now Alpine has confirmed the full production version will be available in the UK in 2026. Making it the third car to launch since the A110 in 2017 and the second full electric car after the A290 that landed in UK showrooms earlier this year. But in a world crowded with lots of premium EV SUVs with the likes of the BMW iX, Mercedes-Benz EQE, Tesla Model Y Performance and the Audi Q6 e-tron, it kind of makes you think, does the A390 bring anything new to the party? Well, Alpine's pitch for the A390 is clear: a racing car in a suit. While that may sound like marketing fluff, the underlying hardware is promising. Built on Renault Group's AmpR Medium platform, which also underpins the likes of the Megane, Scenic and Nissan Ariya, it features 3 electric motors, 1 up front and 2 at the rear, creating an all-wheel drive setup with precise Alpine Active Torque Vectoring. Initially, there will be 2 specs available. The first being the GT, that will have 400 horsepower, 650 Nm of torque, and will do a 0 to 62 sprint in 4.8 seconds. And then you've got the GTS. This will have 470 horsepower, 808 Nm of torque, and will do a 0 to 62 sprint in 3.9 seconds. That puts the GT in direct competition with the likes of the Nissan Ariya Nismo and cars such as the Cooper Tavascan. The GTS is squarely in the firing line of cars like the Porsche Macan 4 and 4S and the Tesla Model Y Performance. However, Alpine says it's not just about acceleration. Instead, the A390 focuses on repeatable performance and driver engagement. That's backed by a claim of A110 style chassis tuning and agile steering. A car that is regarded by many as having the best handling of any road car, period. Unlike many of its rivals that lean towards SUV design cues, the A390 embraces the sleek fastback form. Measuring 4.615 meters long, it looks more like a coupe than a crossover, especially in side profile with its signature helmet visor rear glass and sculpted bonnet blade. Look closer and the details pop. Illuminated triangle daytime running lights dubbed Cosmic Dust, a subtle rear diffuser inspired by Alpine's endurance racers, and clever aero devices like guided air curtains and an 8-degree rear diffuser angle. Even the Easter egg A110 silhouette in the windscreen is a charming nod to the brand's heritage. Colour choices include Alpine's traditional blue and your typical white, black and grey metallics, with 20 or 21-inch alloy wheels styled like snowflakes or endurance racing wheels. Think you're starting to stretch that narrative a bit far now. Inside, Alpine describes its interior as immersed in a world devoted to sportiness, with particular attention paid to comfort and perceived quality, with the dashboard, centre console and door panels coated in leather and a sophisticated lighting atmosphere. The colour theme is blue, in keeping with the Alpine A290. The 12.3 digital cockpit and 12-inch central screen wrap around the driver, while the flat-bottom steering wheel houses 2 key buttons: a blue RCH dial to adjust regen levels and a red OV button for a 10-second boost function, inspired by Formula 1. All models get a Devialet sound system, rich with audio fidelity and optionally upgraded to a 13-speaker extreme sound package in the GTS. Premium touches include Alcantara, Nappa leather, Sabelt bucket seats, and customization options via Alpine's Atelier program elevate it further. Importantly, there's genuine practicality too. 5 seats, a 532-litre boot, and a spacious rear row. Now, if you're looking at this and thinking this is just a tarted up version of the interior that you already get in the Renault Scenic, you'd be right. But I'm not going to criticise Alpine for doing that, because to be fair to the Scenic, the layout, the switchgear, the infotainment, is actually all really, really good. So I can somewhat understand why Alpine decided to lift that almost wholesale. What I would expect though, given that this car is at a much higher price point, which I'll come to shortly, I would expect an uplift in some of the materials used in the cabin. And judging by what we've seen from the first pictures and videos, they have done exactly that. On paper, the A390 weighs over 2 tons. Not surprising for an EV with a large 89 kWh battery, but Alpine claims to have tackled this with careful weight distribution, 4951 to be exact, aluminium suspension components and bespoke Michelin tyres. Here's where things get really interesting though. On the GTS you get a wider wheel and more power, which also means you get A39 marked Michelin Pilot Sport 4Ss, a tyre specifically tuned for the A390. And while manufacturers working with the likes of Michelin and Pirelli is nothing new, I did think it unusual that Alpine have decided to go with the older Pilot Sport 4S. A good tyre in its own right, I've even got them on my mum's car. But I thought it unusual given that the likes of Porsche and BMW are working with Michelin on new Pilot Sport S5 tyres. I kind of get the feeling that Alpine could be at a bit of a disadvantage here working on the older tyre. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Still with Alpine's Active Torque Vectoring, the car's going to have plenty of grip regardless, and the system even offers a drift-like setting which doesn't require counter-steering. I'd be really keen to know how that works. Range is competitive, up to 345 miles on a WLTP cycle with the 20-inch wheel, and 323 miles on the 21s. Thanks to smart thermal management and high discharge chemistry developed by French battery specialists Vercors, performance is repeatable even on track. DC fast charging tops out at 190 kilowatts with 15 to 80% taking under 25 minutes. There's also bidirectional charging with vehicle to grid and vehicle to load, and a full suite of Google-based services, so Google Maps, Google Assistant, Google Play Store, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. All the usual gubbins there. The Alpine Telemetrics system also adds gamified coaching, performance data and lap timing. As for pricing, nothing has been confirmed yet, but in the press conference they did say that they anticipate that the GT would be around about €65,000 and the GTS will be around €74,000. And given that the UK doesn't really deviate much from the Euro pricing, given the conversion rate, I am expecting that this car is probably going to sit around £63,000 and around about £73,000 for the GTS. That will firmly put it right in the firing line of the Porsche Macan, with prices of the Macan 4 starting at £68,500 and the 4S starting at £71,200. But Porsche do have a bit of a reputation of being a bit stingy with the standard kit, so once you put a few options on that, that's probably going to be closer to 80 grand. UK pricing hasn't opened just yet. We're expecting that in late 2025, but you can now buy the A319 Premier, which will cost you an additional £390 on top of whatever the price will be of the car. This gives you priority ordering, exclusive early access to never seen before details, and a set of Alpine branded Devialet wireless headphones, which themselves cost about £349. But what do you think? Would you go for this over something like the Porsche Macan? Or would you maybe go for something a little bit cheaper like the Orion Nismo or the Cupra Tavascan? Do let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, be sure to give this video a like, and don't forget to click subscribe and click the bell icon so as get notified whenever I load up new content. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I'm Max, you've been watching Max Talks, and I'll see you on the next one.